Your first interest in being creative in comic book and animation?
It's like two parts to it. So when I was younger, we grew up on Saturday morning cartoons, right? So that was one inspiration. It wasn't really until I actually had my own children where I found that there was a lack of identity, a lack of characters that my own child can identify with. And it's like I always had this little story when me and my son, we went to go see Incredible Hulk. When we went to go see it, I started asking him about superheroes. And he could name everybody, Spider-Man, Batman, Superman, all of those people. And those were the people on the forefront of his brain. Now, just to give you a little history of my family, my son knows about, Kemet, he knows about Malcolm Martin and all of them, but none of those were individuals that he named on the forefront of his brain. So initially I got upset, and then I decided to do something about it. So it set me off on a journey, create a world that had characters that looked like the students that I service. So, as an educator, I service a certain population of students. We go into the phonetics of, or the origins of what the word hero means. And hero comes from the word Heru. Heru has its ancient Kemetic origins and everything. So I wanted to make sure that we created a hero black and brown children can identify with. The birth of PB Soldier, it actually started in my college days where we actually had a clothing line. And the clothing line was PB Soldier. We came up with this logo, and the logo was tough. I mean, it looked just, this was actually the logo. And what we did was we did the clothing line, we went out to Vegas, we did the magic show, we did all these things. So from late 90s, so like 1998 to about 2003, we were out there pushing the clothing line. And then, just like, when people get jobs, because, we were hungry back then. So when people get jobs, that's what they say, the revolution is over, right? So around 2003 to 2004, I decided to take that logo, and I was like, you know what, it'd be cool if we created a story behind this logo and created a whole character out of it. It wasn't until a lot later on where I just got inspired by, the interactions I was having with my own children to actually create the storyline. But from that point on, I was like, yo, I'm gonna take this and transform it into a story, a series, and put it into the world. So my initial project was to make PB Soldier animated series, but when you learn the industry, you know that the price points for that is a lot higher. So that's how we got into the whole graphic novel business. It was a ton of research. It wasn't until 2012 where he actually dropped the first book. Between 2000 and I'm gonna say 2008 to 2012, it was nothing but research, going to different comic conventions. That's when I first went to ECBOC, which was the East Coast Black Age of Comics. I went to New York Comic Con. I went to all of these various events, and then I actually did some. So I'm an engineer, so I wasn't trained to draw comics, write comics, or anything. I picked up a couple of books from Barnes & Noble, and then I actually did some actual training for script writing, storyboarding, and animatics at NYU, which later on kind of connect me with a lot of other speaking engagements and stuff. But it was all sparked from there, and like I said, just from 2012 forward, we just been pushing the brand, pushing everything, and just making more and more connections, building the fan base, establishing, the market, distribution, and production aspects of, what it takes to make an animation studio.
Chin down a little bit?
Chin down? Yeah. PB Soldier, first of all, PB Soldier had multiple meanings. It's actually changed throughout the years, but the main meaning right now is Citing Blacklisted Soldier, right? So Citing Blacklisted Soldier is his hacker name. So he's one of the world's top computer hackers. We always see narratives of young black men who maybe sold narcotics, and did something negative. I wanted to start him off with a dark past, which much parallel Malcolm, who's one of my heroes, Malcolm X, and then of course worked his way towards righteousness. So right now, as we, look at the story arc is showing how, he has a dark past moving towards the light. I wanted to, since I have an engineering background, I wanted to infuse those STEM careers into it. So that's why I wanted him to be a hacker. I thought it was fascinating to be able to take a medium like the comic or animation to be able to infuse STEM topics and then hope to inspire the next generation of technology leaders just by developing a character that is doing something cool with technology. We always see tons of individuals who may have superpowers or, maybe a martial artist or things like that. I wanted to build a character that didn't fit the stereotypes. Someone who thinks outside of their box, who uses their resources, so he's more like a MacGyver type. For those of you who don't know, MacGyver pretty much was, like an engineer who can pretty much find anything in a room and, find problems to his solution. Find solutions to his problem, at the current time. So that's kind of like what PP Soldier does. He uses his technical know-how to be able to get himself out of situations. I just thought it would just be really cool to be able to develop a story and then explore some social issues through the lens of an individual who is, not seen as a savage, not seen as a Bohemian, not within the penal system and everything, but doing things to survive. So, we look at a slice of life of an individual who has to make certain choices, and sometimes those choices are out of survival, and how do you react to that?